Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai, meritorious devotees. It's a pleasure and interesting. It's very interesting to address a group of devotees like you all, a young crowd, to enlighten your minds with the Buddha's teachings. Not everyone knows the importance of the Vesak day. Not everyone knows the way the Buddha was born, and not everyone knows the way the prince became a Buddha and the way the Buddha passed away. Usually when a normal person passes away, that person will die with fear. A person will die with fear. But fortunately, our Buddha, the Blessed One, he did not die with fear. He did not die with sorrow. He did not die missing or having strong attachments towards the monks lived around the Supreme Buddha. Even when the Buddha was alive, before he passed away, he was detached to the world. He was not attached to the world. When we talk with each other, when we associate people, after a short time we will get attached. And once we get attached, we will need to see them again and again. We will feel like talking to them again and again. And if they don't listen to us, we will feel very uncomfortable. Don't we experience these things in life? And afterwards, these relationships will become a headache for us. Now, when you take the Buddha's life, Buddha had millions of monks around him, but not because of a single monk he felt unhappy or felt sad because of any reason throughout his life as a Buddha. From the day he became a Buddha, at the age of 35 years, on a Vesak full moon poyaday, the prince became a Buddha and then passed away at the age of 8 years. Now, for this Vesak day, the Vesak day we are celebrating, it has been 2565 years after the passing away of the Buddha. We have passed 2565 years. Yet we are speaking the Buddha's teachings. Yet by following the Buddha's teachings and by practicing the Buddha's teachings, yet we can see results. There is an amazing quality in the Buddha's teachings. There's a great, a significant quality in the Buddha's teachings. When you apply the Buddha's teachings to your lives, you will be able to see results the moment you apply the Buddha's teachings. For an example, take the precept of abstaining from killing living beings. The moment you abstain from killing living beings, you will live with loving kindness. And you will not give fear to others. And when you don't give fear to others, you will live like a person who is loved by others. And when you kill others, that means you are producing fear to the world. And then what happens? Others will hate you. Others will hate you. So when you abstain from killing living beings, fear and hatred will get abandoned. See what a great achievement in life. Now you might be waiting to achieve your goals, but in the meantime, try to achieve these spiritual goals as well. That is the one and only secret for us to live happily. And then remember, we are not going to live alone in this world. We will meet people that we like, and we will have to work and live with people that we like, and we will have to work and live with that people that we do not like. We may have to work and live with people that we may not like. So this life is not easy as we think. Well, people might think that if we show anger and if we show our arrogance and if we do things against that, things will be smooth and we might be able to overcome the problems in life. But remember, when you take revenge and when you do things against, things will get worse. Sometimes it might look like things get solved, but in a long run, you are in trouble. Remember, we are depending on a thing called karma. Now, these things were realized by a Buddha on a Vesak full moon poyaday. Now, let's think of a bullock cart. Think of a cart that is being carried by a cow or a bull. Now, in a cart, just imagine a cart, not a car, okay? Not a car, not a bike, not a bus. Think of a bullock cart. Now, think there is a bull or a cow. And then there is a person to ride the cart. And then there's the carriage. And in the carriage, imagine there are only two wheels. There are two wheels. So the wheels are moving always. As long as the cow is moving, the wheels are also moving. And what happens now, the wheel is fixed by a nut. The wheel is fixed by a nail, and then it's strongly tightened by a nut and a bolt. So what happens, as long as this wheel is fixed, as long as the cow is also moving, the wheels will also move. So when the cow moves, the wheels are moving. And when the man says, okay, let's move, the cow has to move. Our life is also like that. We are traveling and traveling, not knowing that we are going in an endless journey of samsara. We are born and dead. We are born and dead. We are born and dead. Now we are living in this human world. We are building houses, then buying cars, building relationships, living in a dream world, dreaming to build houses in dreaming to build houses in overseas. So, but take a moment and think deeply and try to see what we are doing in life. See whether we have solved our problems forever or not. Now remember, I taught you that we are going in an endless journey of samsara. We are born and dead. We are born and dead. Now once we come to the human world, we plan our life until our death. Don't we plan our life until our death? We plan. We think, okay, young age, we'll go to a school and then to a university, or maybe do a diploma and then find a job, then find a girl or find a boy, then get married, then get a car, then have a house, then get old, then look after the grandchildren, then die. Regardless the skin color, regardless the language we speak, regardless the position or the title, we all will get old. All of us will get old. All of us will die. Remember, we are subjected to diseases. And in between, we will have enemies. We will get scolded by others. We will get punished by others. We will get fired by others. We will lose jobs. We will have financial problems. And other people might be unsatisfied with us. We will be unsatisfied with our friends and family members and our partners. Amidst all these problems, we are seeking happiness. How to seek happiness? Therefore, dear Dhamma friends, remember, this is not the first and the last life. Buddha has said that we have been coming in a long journey of samsara. Now on a Vesak full moon poyaday, I'll tell what Buddha realized. Now Buddha realized that the amount of tears we have shed. Now, haven't we cried? We have cried. So when we were small, we cried, and then when we came to a young age, we cried again. That is because of maybe relationships, or maybe when we get low marks for exams. And then when we come to the middle age, some people cry. Why? When they lose their, when they are down in financially, when they are down, they cry, or when they lose their loved ones. So, and what happens? Buddha said, when people cry, we don't understand that we have cried, like we have shed tears more than the 4 great oceans. We have cried more than the water in the sea. We have forgotten that, and we don't know how much we have cried in past lives. That much we have come in this long journey of samsara. So, are we going to do the same thing in next life also? Do you think that we will get a different life in next life? That means a life without suffering, a life without getting a body that can cause suffering. Now think about our body. This is made with blood, flame, pus, and very fragile. A small mosquito, a tiny mosquito can take our life away, can kill us. So we are utilizing and using a life that is subject to suffering. We should understand that. And remember, from this life that is subjected to suffering, how can we find happiness? And remember, Buddha said that when we were born as animals, goats, now remember we are not born as human beings in each and every life. In one life a human being, in another life a ghost, in another life an animal, then in another life in the hell, then in another life as a ghost, in another life as a beggar, in one life blind, in one life handicapped. So Buddha said, in the long journey of samsara, when we were born as animals, when we were born as cows and goats, when we were slaughtered, the amount of blood we shed is more than the 4 great oceans. See, we are planning for this life and living in a dream world without overcoming these problems in future births. Now, if we died in past lives, if we are dying in this life, won't we die in future births? We were born in this life because we died in the past life. Remember that. While we are alive, we can see every day people are being born, newborn babies are born. What's the reason? Some children are telling, okay, I was born in this country, I spoke this language. Now, past few days, I think you would have experienced how a small child is speaking in different languages. Have never been to that country in this life yet. Never learned from anyone. How could they do that? How did they remember that? That's because it's true. They had a life in the past. Forget about this past life and future births for a moment. Think about your mind for a moment. Think about your mind for a moment, not about your eyes, not about your lips or face or your body. Forget about those things, because those things will decay one day, will be eaten by worms after we die. Or just because of this coronavirus, our body can change. Now, you would have remember, right? I think you all can remember how even tongues came out from the mouth. So, just take a moment and think wisely. Think about your mind now. This mind is not just living alone. This mind can generate thoughts. This mind can generate harmful thoughts and also good thoughts. But very easily, harmful thoughts can occur in our mind. Harmful thoughts can ruin your life. And in our mind, there are 3 unwholesome roots. There are 3 unwholesome roots. What are those unwholesome roots? Lust, anger, and delusion. Because of lust, what happens? When we see beautiful things, we need it. We can't live without them. We struggle. Because of anger, even for a small reason, we might get angry and have a very bitter life. And then delusion. Delusion is not knowing about life. When someone dies, we don't have a proper idea what has happened to him. So, because of lust, anger, and delusion, people are unable to recognize what is good and bad, and they can't make good decisions. When we don't know the reality of life, when we do not have mindfulness to control the bad thoughts and to develop wholesome thoughts, when we do not have mindfulness to cultivate wholesome qualities, our life would be like a boat or a ship that is broken in the middle of the ocean. That is broken in the middle of the great sea. Imagine there's a ship broken in the great sea. Then the ship will be taken away and drawn, and then the ship will be moved according to the wind, not according to the ship. Some of our lives are like moved and taken away according to the way the mind needs and according to the way that society needs. If the society says, okay, let's go and have a drink, let's go and have a party, let's go and take alcohol and drugs, let's drink and dance, let's enjoy and let's engage in sexual misconduct, cheating girls, girls cheating boys, taking drugs, living according to the society, no values, no mindfulness. Why? Do not know the reality of life. Living like what? Like a boat that is broken in the middle of the sea. I'll tell you one more simile. I'll tell another simile. Imagine a man or a woman eating honey from a knife. What happens? The tongue will get wounded, but will experience some sweet taste as well. Our human life that we experience from then and there, when we do all these funny activities, when we tell lies, when we steal something, when we engage in sexual activities, there'll be some happiness. When you go on a trip, when you joke around, when you just bully someone, there'll be some happiness. When you beautify yourself, there'll be some happiness. But when your body gets old, when the beauty fades away, the sadness, we won't be able to bear the sadness. It'll be difficult. Then no refuge, because we can't get back the beauty we wanted. We can't get the friends that we wanted. Sometimes we won't be able to get the money that we had before. The young age is gone, close to death. Money wasted. Money cannot be taken to your next life. What a refuge we have? No refuge. But on a Vesak full moon poyaday, a Buddha was born. That prince became a Buddha and then passed away on a Vesak full moon poyaday by fulfilling the task. So just because and as a result of the appearance of a Supreme Buddha to the world, we were able to learn about karma, we were able to be mindful about the mind and the actions that we do, what is good and bad. Some people take beneficial as unbeneficial and unbeneficial as beneficial. Then what happens? Once again, like a broken ship. Therefore, dear Dhamma friends, our life is like a cart that is moving always. We are depending on karma always. Remove that karma, abandon that karma, break that nut, break that bolt. Then once you are free from karma, then this endless journey of samsara that is being born and dead, will stop. Then when you are not born, will you die again? No. When you are not born, will you get old again? No. When you are not born, will you meet with people that you do not like? No. When you are not born, will you lose your loved ones? No. When you are not born, will you separate from loved ones? No. when you're not born, will you have all these sufferings? No. So when I say, okay, when you're not born, you might feel upset. How can I do that? Okay, let's try to at least control our lives to maximum of 7 births. Then, if you become a stream entrant by following the Buddha's path, then you will have assurance that your life will be limited to human world and divine worlds. And those lives will end by attaining Nibbana, by purifying your mind fully. Imagine there's no bad thoughts. When people scold you, you don't feel like scolding them. No bad thoughts to arise in your mind. Right now, why bad thoughts arise in our mind? One thing, no mindfulness, no right views, no wisdom, no control. If there are no bad thoughts, how to arise? We clean our body, we cleanse the body, we comb our hair, wear new clothes. Mind, same place. Same mind, worse mind tomorrow. Like a wound. Some people's mind are like a wound that is scratching. Therefore, I have a very limited time to talk to you all today. If you like to learn Dhamma, it's Sri Lanka. The Buddha's teachings are protected in Sri Lanka. Buddha visited Sri Lanka and protected this island, dedicated this island to practice the Buddha's teachings. There are Buddhist monks. Learn the Dhamma. Learn Dhamma in Sinhala, learn Dhamma in English language, whatever the language possible, and try to become virtuous. Try to abstain from killing living beings. Try to abstain from stealing. Try to abstain from engaging in sexual misconduct. Try to abstain from telling lies. Try to abstain from taking alcohol and intoxicating drinks and drugs. Then you will not give fear to others, and others will not hate you. Secret for happiness. Spread loving kindness. Show loving kindness to others, just like a one and only, just like a mother who has a one and only child shows loving kindness to that one and only child. Spread loving kindness towards everyone. Show boundless loving kindness towards everyone. Those are the only things we can take to our next life. If you have money, use some of your money to practice generosity, to share that money with others, give food to others, because when you can transform that money to generosity, that money can be taken to your next life. Imagine you have 10,000 rupees and you give 1,000 rupees to someone. That 1,000 rupees will turn into a good karma, and that good karma you can experience in this life, in next life, and until you attain Nibbana. So people don't think wisely like this. They try to always accumulate wealth, but not to transform that wealth to generosity. If you can transform that wealth to generosity, that money can be taken to your next life. That's the secret to take our wealth to the next life. Therefore, learn all these things. And before I conclude, I will teach you how to practice mindfulness. Watch your mind always. When a bad thought comes, don't let that bad thought to arise. Replace that bad thought with a good thought. A secret is, when someone scolds you, when someone irritates you, don't think faults in that person. Forget about those faults that person has. Try to think good, whatever the good that person has done in the past. Imagine that person suppose that person does not have any good quality. Then yet there is another way to feel good about that person. Have compassion toward that person. Think, poor thing, this person, he has no good qualities. This person, I don't know what will happen to this person. He will be neglected by others. And then I don't know what will happen to him in next life. When you think of that person like that, you will feel compassionate towards that person. See how amazing the Buddha's teachings are. For any problem, Buddha has given answers. All these things were realized on a Vesak full moon poyaday. Remember when the Buddha was born, when he kept the first step on the earth, on the first day he was born, lotuses bloomed from the earth. 7 lotuses bloom for each and every step he kept. And he said, I will become the greatest person to this world. I'll become the most foremost person to the world, and this will be my last birth. There's no rebirth for me. That was uttered on a Vesak full moon poyaday. And then on the last day of his life, addressed the monks and said, "Dear bhikkhus, if you have any questions, ask me." And then the monks said, "No questions." Why? All the doubts were cleared by the Buddha within 45 years. Created bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, lay followers, male and female followers. Created 4 good groups for the benefit and welfare of the welfare of many beings. And then passed away like a lamp extinguishers. When a lamp extinguishes, what happens to the flame? Does the flame go to the top or sideways? No, the flame disappears. In the same way, the Buddha passed away in a way that he is not reborn anymore. All the sufferings were totally eradicated. What a wonderful life a Buddha lived. At least if you can have a rough idea what a Buddha has done, that is the greatest gift we can get to our life. There's no one equal to Buddha. There's nothing equal to the Buddha. There's nothing equal to the Buddha's realization. It's all about compassion. It's all about loving kindness. The way Buddha taught us to practice mindfulness is like, imagine a man is given a pot, and that pot is filled with oil. That pot is filled with oil. And then he is told to take that pot to the head that is filled with oil, to the surface. And then imagine another man is following with a sword. And then he's told if you spill a single drop of oil, the man behind you will cut you into pieces. A person who likes to live will take that pot filled with oil without spilling a single drop. Why? He likes to live. In the same way, if you like to live peacefully, don't let a single bad thought to come to your mind. If a man kills you, that is one time. But if you accumulate a bad karma, that bad karma can give you results more than 100 times. A bad karma can give you results more than 500 times. But killing can only happen once. Therefore, more than this life, think about, be aware and be mindful, and be more concerned about karma. Be more concerned about your mind. Be more concerned about loving kindness, compassion. Don't feel jealous of others. Try to always see good. Try to always expect the development of others. Then your jealousy will totally get abandoned. Try to practice equanimity. When people make mistakes, think that I also can make a mistake like that, and practice equanimity. All these things were taught by a Buddha. Realized within a day, realized within few hours, and then taught within 45 years. Still those teachings are remaining, and still people are taking results. So I taught in the beginning of the sermon, this Dhamma, there's an amazing quality in the Buddha's teachings. That is, when you apply that moment, when you apply the Buddha's teachings, on that moment you will have results. So why not we apply the Buddha's teachings on this beautiful Vesak full moon poyaday and live a beautiful life free from fear and hatred, and lead a life that is day by day reducing lust, anger, and delusion. What do you think about a life like that? Day by day you are living a life that can reduce your lust, anger, and delusion, and gradually before you die, that will come to extent that you will never do a bad deed that will lead to be born in hell or in animal world or in the ghost world or in the Titan world. And with that assurance, if you die, imagine you become a doctor or engineer, together you become a stream entrant and then die. You attend the Sangha, practice generosity from the money you earn, take care of the mother and father, worshipping the mother and father, being grateful to the mother and father, being grateful to your teachers, being grateful for the people who have helped you, being grateful to the people who have helped you. So with all these qualities, if you can live, what a great achievement. Remember, before I stop the program, there are two people who are rare to find in this world. First person is a person who is grateful, and the second person is a person who will help you when you need immediately for the first time. Try to be at least one of them. That is from us for the Vesak full moon poyaday. May you realize the Four Noble Truths. May you have confidence in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and celebrate Vesak by observing 8 precepts. Don't eat after 12 today. Observe 8 precepts. Abstain from all the sexual activities today. And then light a lamp for the Supreme Buddha. Offer your life to the Supreme Buddha. And then read some suttas from the Supreme Buddha. You can read Bhayabhairava Sutta, Mahasihanada Sutta, Mahaparinibbana Sutta, then Accharyadbhuta Sutta, and then try to read beautiful sermons done by the Supreme Buddha and develop confidence in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and spend this Vesak full moon poyaday in a meaningful way and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And so my teacher is Most Venerable Kurunagala Rohanakiththi Thero, Pingmat Lokusamin Wahansa, Avasarai. So may my homage to my teacher who taught us this beautiful Dhamma in this era, and may our teacher, Pingmat Lokusamin Wahansa, Avasarai, to mention his name, Most Venerable Kurunagala Rohanakiththi Thero, Pingmat Lokusamin Wahansa. May he be well and happy, have long life, and may he realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Dear devotees, now we have come to the merit sharing. So we would like to share merit with all the Devas, with all the Brahmas. By the merit accumulated from this Dhamma sermon, may all the Devas help us and help all the people who are suffering from coronavirus to overcome the virus infections, and may this pandemic dispel as soon as possible, and may all the Devas realize the Four Noble Truths, and may all the Devas protect the staff members and the director of expert organization, Venerable De Silva. May he be well and happy, and may all the Devas realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may all the departed relatives of all of us, departed relatives of Venerable De Silva, and all the departed relatives of all the staff members be well and happy, have happiness, and escape from samsara as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may everyone working at expert organization, and may Venerable De Silva Mahatma and his family members and everyone be well and happy and have long life, and may all the children who are hoping to go overseas be well and happy and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So once again, with the help of this merit, by preaching Dhamma, by listening to Dhamma, may all your good thoughts come true and realize the Buddha's teachings in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai.